there's a ton of reviews that are already out there for Astro Bot. I think if you go to actually upload VR, let's see here. Let me grab. Don't have anything set up really today. No browser windows or anything. But if I go to upload VR, I believe that they have reviewed Astro Bot, and I think they gave it like a 8.5 out of 10. Let's see here. Yeah, 8.5 out of 10. They gave it a great rating. I can switch over here to my web browser with small video window. And yeah, Astro Bot Rescue Mission Review, a PSVR platforming triumph. Positives: fantastic use of VR holds surprises around every corner. Brilliant platforming augmented by VR. 52 levels. 52 levels hold hours of content. Negatives: occasionally frustrating. You know, I mean, that kind of sounds like every game under the sun, you know, I mean, everything is occasionally frustrating, right? But we got an 8.5 score out of 10. I've seen other scores out there. Like if you go to the PSVR subreddit, there's a lot of other like Push Square, all these other websites that have reviewed Astro Bot, and the ratings are even better. So it's kind of funny because upload VR, not quite as hyped. For example, let's go over here real quick. This is the PSVR subreddit. Astro Bot Rescue Mission, a 10 out of 10. A masterpiece on IGN Japan. Okay, IGN Japan, and this of course is Japan Studios. So a little bit of a grain of salt there. Astro Bot Rescue Mission getting a 92 average in first round of reviews. Metacritic, 11 reviewers. It's got an average of 89 for Astro Bot. And so there are a lot of Astro Bot reviews. ShaneTheGamer.com has a review. See, why is Shane the Gamer getting Astro Bot, but Anthony the Gamer is not? That is unfair, man. It's not cool, bro. Don't like that. I am not watching episode after episode of some various TV show on Netflix. My wife is watching this show called Ozark or something like that, and watches episode after episode after episode. Let me go on a little Netflix rant for just a second here. I think any of you that go on Netflix and you watch episode after episode after episode of a show, if it's a really good show, you're actually doing yourself a disservice. Like if you're going to watch Black Mirror, watch a single episode. Watch a single episode and just chill. Just watch one episode, and then maybe like 4 or 5 days later, watch another episode, because then you have a chance for the episode that you just saw to marinate. And over a couple of days, you might think about that episode. You might think, man, that was such a good episode. But when you guys watch episode after episode after episode and you start marathoning these episodes, they all just blend into each other and you don't remember stuff. I think you're doing a disservice to yourself if it's a really good TV program. Now, if it's kind of like some miscellaneous show that you're not that into, that's a different story. But if you're really into it, I think you gotta marinate with it. You know, that's my thought there. And then I Am Rut says, Transference, Anthony, did you finish it? Yes, and I have actually finished Transference. Oh my God, it is a miracle. Can you folks believe it? I have finished Transference. This is truly a glorious day. Let's go ahead and do this. I finished Transference. I finished a game. I have finished a game. Ladies and gentlemen, I have finished a game. Oh my God, I have finished a game. So yeah, I mean, I don't finish games a lot. That's my MO, right? You know, they call me Iceberg Slim. I'm always on the tip of the iceberg, just scratching the very tip of the iceberg. And I typically don't get deep down in there and plow down in there and see everything that a game has to offer. There are so many games out there, seriously, so many games out there where I've finished like 80% of the game, maybe even 85% of the game. And then I move off to something else. And then there's that game. It's 85% finished, but I haven't put it to bed. Well, I have put Transference to bed, and let me tell you, the ending of the game, really good, man. This game right here is something else. I mentioned the other day, actually I think it was on VR Roundtable episode yesterday. Okay, got a garbage truck. It's right out front. Hold on, I'm gonna let this garbage truck pass because it's pretty freaking loud. Let me go ahead and check chat while we're doing it. Hybrid Energy says, what are we celebrating? We're celebrating the fact that I have finally finished a game. Now, it happens to be a very short game. We're talking 2-3 hours or whatever that Transference is, but I know I've spent 3 hours. I have spent at least 3 hours, so that's kind of cool. Crunchy says, so which games have you ever finished? Is Transference really the first? No. I have finished other games. Transference is just a recent game that I finally finished. So, yeah, and then Trevor Jones says, dude, no spoilers. No spoilers. Okay, well, I will really try to stay away from spoilers, but what I will say is when I was on VR Roundtable yesterday, and I said that as I'm going through Transference and I'm playing Transference, it kind of feels like a Black Mirror episode. Well, when I won't spoil it, but when when it's all over with, when you're going through the ending of Transference, it's even more of a Black Mirror episode than I thought previously. So that was really cool. So really like the Transference, and I got to tell you, there legitimately are moments in Transference where I am scaled. I'm scaled. I am scared to death. There are brief moments in Transference where I get freaked the hell out. Okay, so I think this guy's name is Macon Blair. Let me double check here. Is this guy's name Macon? Yeah, Macon Blair. Okay, so this is the actor that plays the main role in Transference. So he's kind of like, and here he is with a completely different hairstyle, looking completely different. But this is Macon Blair. There he is again right there, this actor Macon Blair. And here he is with Elijah Wood, and they are sitting there and they're talking about like some Sundance Film Festival or something like that. But this guy is featured in Transference. You know, he's the main guy that you see when you see all the trailers and stuff. He's the guy whispering and talking and all that stuff. And he did a fantastic job. But what I liked about what they did here is they captured brief snippets of these actors doing different things. And then like this guy right here, like you see it in Transference. He's always in here. He's always talking to the camera and stuff. And he does such a good performance, I think. And you'll see snippets of him, like you'll see him standing down the hallway talking to you, or you'll see the little kid like slamming a door and screaming at you about something, or the wife. And it's like these fragments of memories, like right there, like you'll see somebody standing down the hall, then they go running away. And so they mix that in, and I like what they did here, and I really think this Macon Blair guy, like he did a really good job. Like this game, if he was not as good as he was in this game would have fallen apart. But this game really drew me into the overall experience with these different video clips, and then also with the videos that are playing in the background. So like you'll see all these different monitors. You'll do something, you'll activate something, and then you know, all these things start happening, and then you'll see all these monitors start popping up. And this might be a tiny minor spoiler here, but at the very end, like when you're finally wrapping this thing up, all these monitors start appearing everywhere, and they're really big and they're really clear. And it makes me kind of think of our AR future, you know, Magic Leap and all that stuff. Noah, you'd probably really like Transference because of the way they throw these monitor screens all over. it really feels almost like AR, like, you know, you're in a real reality, and then they're throwing up all these big screens that look pretty good and have pretty good resolution. I was really quite impressed with that. There has been a little bit of talk about Vox Machinae that I thought was kind of interesting. And I thought we could talk about Vox Machinae just for a second here, because as much as I love Vox Machinae, and I really love it, I love the cockpit, I love that little cyborg lady, that Max Headroom lady that talks to you every once in a while. I love all the indicators. I think it's just done so well. But this one guy had a post on the Vive subreddit where he's throwing a little bit of shade on the gameplay of Vox Machinae. And you know what? I'm kind of inclined to agree with some of the stuff that he's talking about here. So let me go over to that, because I thought this was interesting. I don't know if you guys agree on this. Those of you that are banging away on a regular basis on Vox Machinae, check this out. So this is the Vive subreddit right here, and there's this thread here, my take on Vox Machinae. This is by Atari XIC89. So I think he has a pretty interesting take here. And so he says, look, the game is great. It feels very immersive in both VR and on regular screens. Its UI is simple and easy to use and runs well. If you've played MechWarrior Online, the mouse plus keyboard controls will feel very similar. Right now, there's only 5 grinder mech classes and a handful of weapons, including lasers, autocannons. Okay, here's where he starts to throw the shade a little bit. However, I want to talk about what I feel are problems with the game's staying power. I enjoyed the games I played, but I find myself uncompelled to return to the game, and I want to point out why that is. Simply put, the game lacks tactical depth I have grown accustomed to in other mech games. Currently, you're in the biggest or the smallest mech. It doesn't feel like there's much of a difference in health. And then he also talks about how you're just kind of firing at your opponents, and you don't really feel like anything is going on. Like, the guy breaks it down pretty well. He breaks it down pretty well, and he says that, I feel there is a very low skill ceiling in the game, which is why I have trouble returning to the game after the novelty of the amazing immersion wears off. And there is a novelty factor to the amazing immersion. It does have amazing immersion, but I do kind of feel what this guy's talking about. It kind of boils down, like every time I've been into Vox Machinae, I don't know if you guys have found it to be similar, but I love the game. I'm playing it, I'm loving it, and every day I think about playing more of it. But when I am in this game, and you're moving around, and then you see a bad guy, and then you start firing your missiles at the bad guy, and then like a bunch of them will swarm on you, and then you just get hammered and you're dead, and then you're waiting for your new mech to spawn, and then it's like rinse and repeat. And I haven't figured out like any kind of a real strategy, like how do you survive in this game and not get killed right away? I don't know. I haven't figured out the nuances of that. And I do feel like the gameplay, like everything is great about it, but then the core gameplay has a bit of some issues there. But I mean, I still like the game overall. I still think it's an outstanding game. I still think it's a great game to recommend to pretty much everybody out there. But it's not perfect. It's not perfect. And this guy kind of, the honeymoon period is over, says Chris Cox. No, I mean, it's what this guy talks about. Some of the things that he's talking about in here, he really kind of breaks it down pretty much. He says, I don't get the sense that focusing on subcomponents, like if you're trying to shoot another mech's arm or you're trying to shoot its leg, he says he doesn't feel like that is worth the time versus simply shooting at the center of mass. Because of this, he feels there's a very low skill ceiling in the game. And he talks about how, you know, in terms of hit points, you could be in the biggest or smallest mech, but it doesn't seem like there's any real difference there in terms of the health factor. And then the weapons, you kind of have the same missiles, you know, the lasers. You don't have a lot of stuff to work with. There's also no real defensive strategy you can have other than trying to like stay a little bit farther away and trying to attack from a distance. And then I guess defensively, what I've been doing defensively, I don't know if you guys have done this as well, but what I've been doing defensively is I try to save my jump jets for when I start to get attacked. Then bam, I activate those jump jets and I try to get the hell out of dodge. But your jump jets, like you'll notice, like the amount of gas that you have for your jump jets, it runs out really quickly. So you can't get too far away. So it's almost like you need to be next to like a mountain kind of and battling guys, and then save your jump jets to try to get back behind the mountain before you get hammered too much. I don't know. Do you guys have strategies? Curious about that. So the co-op is like they want to have somebody in the same room with you with a controller, so one person has the VR headset on, and then up to 3 other people can be in the controller, on a controller. So you can actually have 4 people playing Smash Hit Plunder simultaneously. 4 of you guys can be in there. And you're basically just, this game is all about breaking shit, like throwing shit around and finding treasure. And then you're in kind of this haunted castle. And so there's going to be like ghosts and stuff that are also going to be in this game that are going to prevent you from doing what you want to do. So you're going through this castle, you're trying to find as much treasure and loot as humanly possible by smashing the hell out of everything and finding all the loot. But at the same time, you gotta battle other ghosts and goblins and stuff that are going to try to prevent you from what you're doing. And it kind of has this retro look. It kind of has like compound style graphics in a way. And yeah, there's local co-op, but you got to have people there. Like, see, it shows somebody else here playing on the sofa there with a regular DualShock 4 controller. And I think you could have 3 people doing that. So it's kind of interesting from that factor. If you're living in like a college dorm or something, this might be a kind of fun, cool game to play in a college dorm. Although doesn't everybody want to be in the goddamn VR headset? Like, I would think everybody would want the VR headset. And they're like, come on, man, I want the damn VR headset. Now, one of the things some people are talking about here is Carmack. Oculus debated a PC VR mode for Quest. And this is something that a lot of people have been talking about. Why can you not just hook up your Quest headset to your PC and it could basically be an upgrade for your Oculus Rift? Why can't you use it as a replacement for your Oculus Rift? And Carmack kind of said, well, they kind of looked into it. It's not really likely, but they might kind of experiment with it, that maybe they're still going to kind of experiment with it a little bit as far as that. And you know what? I'm going to tell you what the real answer is for this. The real answer is they don't want you to be on a PC. That's the real answer is they want to move away from the PC. So honestly, I think what you guys want as far as that goes, like to have this headset that performs double duty, I understand the idea, I understand the concept, but it's not in Oculus's best interest. Their interest is to create this isolated platform that is the Oculus Quest, and so I don't think we're going to be playing Rift games on our Oculus Quest, and I don't think they're going to have a future headset that does that either. It's not in their best interest. I just don't think it's going to pop off. So yeah, definitely go ahead, check out the website if you get an opportunity, of course, and of course, subscribe to the channel, like the video, all those nice things. We really appreciate it, and I will be back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Probably will not have thoughts on Astro Bot yet because I have to wait till tomorrow to get Astro Bot. Then I've got to download Astro Bot and then get a chance to play Astro Bot. That's probably not going to happen before 11 a.m. So I'll probably be talking about Astro Bot in depth on Wednesday. So I'll definitely go ahead and do that. All right, guys, got to bounce out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Have a wonderful Monday. See you guys then. Take it easy. Later.